Hi everyone, this is a daily forecast on Eurodollar. Today is Wednesday, October 13. This video is brought to you by Finteria Markets. Please check our website. You will find plenty of useful information on the website, including market analytics, analytical tools, educational materials, and all the information with trading conditions. We offer one of the lowest spreads in the market. Our spread on Eurodollar is below 0.1 pip most of the time. So let's start our analysis by looking at winners and losers. This is the tool that helps you to compare currencies with each other and understand which currencies dominate and which ones are the weakest. So let's use the second widget, which shows you the graphical lines, and you can easily interpret and understand what was happening with the currency over time. So I'm gonna just zoom in, it's a little bit more so that you can see it more clearly. And first of all, we're gonna start with last 24 hours. We can see that the best performing currency was the Canadian dollar, clearly from the mid of the day, basically. And the weakest currency was the Swiss franc. We see it on the chart. Speaking about the US dollar, it was rather mixed. We saw some periods of weakness and then it rebounded. And we can pretty much say pretty much the same about the euro. So it had some periods of weakness, but then gradually recovered over the last 5 hours. Let's also check the tendencies this week from the market open. So here, once again, we see that there is a broad-based weakness of the Japanese yen. It's so much different and separated from all other currencies. You can see that all currencies are around zero and above. Japanese yen is far away, and there is a clear, strong trend, and inertia is able to push the Japanese yen even lower. Speaking about the strongest currencies, we saw some good momentum behind the Australian dollar, but it showed some weakness over the last day. I like how the New Zealand dollar performs and also the Canadian dollar. So if we check the US dollar, once again, it's pretty mixed. It's around zero. No big moves so far in the market. And speaking about the euro, once again, some weakness, but still pretty flat in general. So let's also speak about the economic calendar. There are many events expected today. Inflation data in Germany. There's a big chunk of data coming from UK. Industrial production as well in EU, in Europe. But I think the main focus is going to be on the inflation data. So we have CPI coming out of US today. We have later FOMC minutes, but I think the main focus is going to be on the inflation, and some volatility may increase after the news is released. We're expecting the headline yearly number to be at 5.3%. So in case if it's much higher, if inflation is accelerating, I think it's getting more sensitive. Before, probably the market didn't pay much attention to inflation, as the Fed was always saying that the inflation is transitory. Probably the inflation's importance is going to increase in the nearest future if the inflation stays with us and it's not transitory. So I think it's gonna attract more attention. Maybe not this month, but gradually, I think inflation will be more in the focus of the market. Even right now, many talk about the stagflation risks. So pay attention to inflation numbers in case if we have a surprise, it can substantially affect the US dollar. It's time to switch to the charts. I'm gonna start with the daily chart. Here, once again, just to remind you, the daily chart, we broke the daily triangle. We're gradually moving lower. Today we have this green candle, which looks bullish. So let's switch to 1 hour time frame, and here let's look at the situation, what's happening. So yesterday it actually dipped lower, and we had this formation. We were recommending you to consider short positions. We dipped lower, but we didn't really move much. So The lowest price was around 115.23. So almost the target is reached. I mentioned this before that we might not reach 115 exactly, that the price may rebound at 115.10 or 115.20. So this level is pretty significant, and as you can see, it rebounded quite strongly. So there were some market participants who decided that these levels are really good enough to open some longs. So here, in my opinion, we almost reached this target, and there's a strong rebound. You can see two long candles during the Asian session. This phase will look more like a correction, but here we also had some situation when euro moved much higher, very significantly and with lots of confidence. And usually in those cases, we see even higher moves. So in my opinion, we may move much higher today. Probably we can even test this trend line that you see on my chart, the blue line. Potentially we can move till 115.70. So here I would say that many things can depend on the inflation number that we get. So so far, in my opinion, it looks more bullish. We may potentially move slightly higher. So let me draw today's key levels. In my opinion, it's going to be to look like this. So I would say that here this high is going to be important. It's approximately 115.70. So in my opinion, here could be a potential sell opportunity, but I think that this time is going to be a very risky short, because first of all, we already reached 115.20. So kind of potential is already used, and many participants decided to basically to buy at those levels. So here, one of the opportunities where you can consider shorts, but can be risky once again. So just take this into account. Another level that probably we can still move higher, and here you can actually look for other levels where potential shorts are also very interesting. Just maybe also like here you see a substantial level in this area. Let me draw this. Here you see a lot of highs and lows in this area. I would mention them like here. You see that multiple times we tried to move above and we didn't manage to do this. So in my opinion, this level is going to be also very critical and important. From here, we will see a lot of resistance if we move to 115.70, 115.80. So this area is critical. So in case if we decide to move much higher above this line, I still wouldn't consider you to, I wouldn't recommend you to consider long positions. In my opinion, once again, the downside trend is still intact. It's still in the focus of the markets. So selling from those levels probably would be a good idea. But in my opinion, we need maybe just higher levels, maybe 116.20 or even reaching 116.40. So if this level is broken, 115.80, I would recommend you to look for higher upticks so that you can reopen your shorts. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this analysis. Please give us your likes and subscribe to the channel. We make videos that help you understand the markets and make more profits. And also check our website. We have plenty of tools that facilitate your analysis and also help you in your trading. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you a nice day.